up you guys, my name is Raina and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first video, and for my first video I thought I'm just gonna share what I have. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So first I wanted to talk a little bit about myself. We'll get into this dude later on in the video. My name is Raina, I'm 21, I live in Texas, and I love to paint, I love cooking, plants, and most importantly I love my animals. I was a dog trainer for almost 4 years from Petco and PetSmart, and I wanted to move on with my life, so I decided to learn how to groom. Right now I'm a bather. I really enjoy it, and I'm excited to further my career, just kind of become the jack of all trades of animals. That's my whole goal. Hopefully one day I'll own a zoo. That would be amazing if I got that far. That's pretty much it for me, and let's move on to the animals. Starting off with the OG, this is Nigel, the normal boa constrictor. She was my very first snake, and she is the largest snake that I do own. So she was given to me by a family friend, and every time I would go over, I would always ask to hold Nigel. And I guess they got tired of me asking, because one day they asked my parents, and they told me that I could take her home. And so I was very excited. She was teeny tiny when I got her, but now she's pretty dang big. She's a big part of the reason why I love reptiles so much. I learned how easygoing they were, how easy their care is compared to most other animals, compared to like a dog or a cat or even like a hamster or a rat or something. These guys are so much easier, and so I loved her so much from then, and it really started all of it. Next up we have Phet. This is my T-positive albino Florida king snake. I love him so much. I have a tattoo of him, don't tell the others, but he's my favorite. He is just so full of personality usually. Right now he's not super into things. He's in blue, so I'm not gonna mess with him for too long, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful this thing is. He will bite you. He is a big fan of food, very food connoisseur, totally. And so anything he thinks is food, whether it is actual food or your fingers, he's gonna try to eat it. It's just part of his personality. That's how he is. And yeah, he's awesome. These guys are really cool because in the wild they actually eat venomous snakes as well. They, like I said, they will eat anything they can get their hands on. So if he comes across a rattlesnake or something, he's probably gonna try to eat it. As long as it fits in his mouth, it's food. I'm gonna go ahead and put him up, let him go and hide and prepare to come out of a new skin. Next up we have Hermione, the pinstripe ball python. She is actually my family's favorite snake. A lot of members of my family aren't too into them. They think I'm a weirdo for liking all these reptiles. But the day that I took this girl home, my sister was introduced to her, and she willingly held her all on her own and decided that she loves Hermione. So she's helped me out a lot with that. So I got her from a Petco whenever I was working there, and I do not condone buying reptiles from Petco or PetSmart. Please don't do that. But she was labeled as a normal, and they were having a really big sale where all their reptiles were half off. So I got her for 30 bucks, and I couldn't help myself. So I went ahead and got her, and she's actually the snake that I have had the most problems with, unfortunately. I will get into another video on why that is. As you can see, she's missing a head scale. They will grow back at some point, but she's had quite a few problems, but she's all better now. She's getting there, and she is a great snake now. She's pretty cool. So here she is, and let's move on to the next snake. Next up we have Mushu, the rosy boa. She's a sweetheart, and she's probably around 8 years old. Mushu actually came to me from a friend who acquired her from a teacher. She was a teacher's pet for several years. Unfortunately, the teacher did not take the best care of her. I was told she was very aggressive, and the lady never cleaned out her cage. She was pretty underweight when I got her, and I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but she has a fat tail, very fat tail. It doesn't seem to bother her at all. We've been to the vet a few times. We've done a few rounds of antibiotics, and the vet's suggestion is as long as it's not hurting her, we're gonna let her live out her life with her fat tail. We're never gonna breed her or anything like that. She is super friendly and not like I expected her to be at all. I expected to get bit at least 10 times from her, and I luckily have never been bit by her. But she is a super cool snake. She likes to hang out with me while I paint a lot, so I love to hang out with her as well. So here she is, and let's move on. Next up we have Lobster, my hypo corn snake. She is amazing. Once again, I'm gonna say this about all of my reptiles, is that they're awesome, I love them, they're babies, get used to it. But she is trying to climb up into my shirt. She does not like to be on camera, apparently. So here she is. I got her at Repticon in January as well, and she was a rescue. Technically, she's a rescue. So she was given to a breeder from another breeder who unfortunately was power feeding her and trying to make her gain as much weight as possible, so therefore she would be able to breed a lot sooner than she really should. Most of the time, female snakes hit breeding age right around 3 years old. I'm assuming she's about 2, so she's definitely big enough to breed, but she won't be breeding until next year or until she loses all of her fat. She is a little bit obese, and we're working on losing some of that weight. As you can see, she's definitely got some hips on her, and we're gonna name her Sausage. But her name is Lobster because the week after I got her, she escaped, was gone for an entire month. And I looked everywhere for her, and then one day she just came out. She was in the same room that I lost her in. I don't know how I lost this large of a snake, but I did. So we decided to name her Lobster because lobsters are immortal. They will not die unless you kill them, so we tell everyone that she's immortal. The reason the breeder gave her to me was because he owns a lot of snakes, and he keeps all of his snakes in rack systems, which is okay. But due to her weight, she would not be able to get the exercise that she needed for her to lose that weight. So he gave her to me so that she would be handled more and that she could live in a tank so she could lose a little bit of that weight. And she's doing pretty awesome now. She has lost a little bit, but unfortunately it does take some time for snakes to lose weight. So she may not be able to breed next year, depending on her size. But at the moment, I don't feel comfortable breeding her due to this large booty that she's got. One day. Let's move on and go to our next snake. Alright, with my smallest and most recent snake, this is Nebula, the Amazon tree boa. She's a feisty thing. She's amazing. I got her in February as a newborn snake. I wasn't going to get another snake at that, but my boyfriend convinced me, and all he had to say is, look at this snake, and then I got her because I love her so much. And I'm gonna do a video on her pretty soon about her whole setup and a little bit about the care on these guys. Not the best at handling. She's not a big fan of it. She does very well compared to some, but they usually are pretty dang mean and do not want to be messed with at all. So I'm very lucky that she's a little bit more easygoing, but she could get meaner in the future, so we'll see. Here she is. That's it. Let's move on to something else. For my one and only lizard that I had, this is Zion. He is a gargoyle gecko, and of course on the day that I decide to film, all of my animals are going into shed. So you can see he's fired up right now, but he's very gray because he's in shed right now. So he does turn gray normally when he's fired down, and I thought that's what he was, but I picked him up and nope, he's gonna shed like today or tomorrow. So I'm not gonna hold him for too long, but he's my pride and joy. I got him about 3 weeks ago at Herps. I've always wanted a gargoyle gecko. They are the coolest little thing. They're very similar to crested geckos, which everybody has. So I wanted something a little different for a lizard species, so I got me a little gargoyle gecko. I don't know if it's boy or girl yet. He's a little too small to tell yet, but he is beautiful. I'll put some pictures of how he looks like usually when he's fired up and fired down, and so you guys can see the difference. And he's not very happy with me, but here he is. He's freaking adorable, and I'm so happy to finally have a lizard in my home that I can play with and hang out with, and I can't wait for him to get bigger This is gonna be his first time shedding with me, so I'm pretty excited about that. Let's move on. This is Champ, moving on from Reptiles. He is my Lab Chow Boxer Akita mix. Total mutt here, Heinz 57. But he is awesome. I've had him since he was 8 weeks old. I got him from a really good friend of mine who had puppies. He actually was the entire reason for me becoming a trainer and a groomer as well. But he was really bad whenever he was younger. He was terrible. Whenever he was about 8 months old, we got him neutered, and after he had his cone on, he broke our AC unit twice. He tried to take the cone off by running in between the AC unit and the side of the house and just ran straight through it and broke all the wiring that was there twice in 1 week, after we had just finished fixing it again, because he's a little snot. So my parents said, train him or get rid of him. So that's what I did. I trained him, and he is the smartest thing in the whole world. He knows probably about 20 to 30 tricks now. He's pretty dang smart. I used to be able to take him with me to PetSmart when I was working there, and so he really helped me out a lot training other dogs, and it was really fun to work with him. So he's just my pet now. He does not come to work with me anymore, unfortunately. Can I have a paw? Oh, good job. Good job. There he is, the beautiful baby Champ. This is Nova. She is my Great Dane mix. I was told she was not a mix, but she is teeny tiny. She is only 80 pounds. So she has to be a mix. There cannot just be Great Dane in there. She's way too dang small for that. And she's actually my foster dog. So I've had her for about 1.5 years. In December it'll be 2 years, and that's when her owner is coming back to get her. So I'm just watching her for a couple years. She is my crazy dog, and she has definitely given me a run for my money. She did not get along with Champ for a long time. They were not friends for about 1 year. They just did not like each other. And so we worked on it, and now we are at the point where they can hang out together peacefully, and they like each other now, which is amazing. And I'm happy that they can both be out, hang out at the same time. She was scared of everything when I first got there. She's afraid of large dogs. She's afraid of thunderstorms, fireworks, being alone. I feel that. But yeah, this is Bentley. He is my Jack Russell Terrier mix. He is amazing and super smart as well, and a little bit stubborn, a little crazy. But he's awesome. He is definitely the cuddle bug of the family. Champ doesn't like to cuddle much, but he will not go to sleep unless he is spooning somebody. He doesn't care who. He will jump up in a stranger's lap and cuddle with them if they'll allow it. And he would probably sell me for a chicken nugget, so that says a little bit about his personality. He's pretty smart now. He used to be a little bit stubborn, didn't want to learn a whole lot, but he knows probably about 10 tricks now, and I think he's pretty smart. He's cool. Alright, that pretty much covers it. I think we're good here. I've done all of my animals with the exception of my tarantulas. I will do another video just on my tarantulas. They are my boyfriends. I don't do a whole lot with them. So I decided for my pets, I was just going to include the ones that I take care of. We'll do another video on the tarantulas soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're back soon. And like, subscribe, do whatever you want. And I hope to see you soon.